Now, there are other things to talk about. Let's do the earnings call.
Let's go.
So, okay, look, we've already covered a bunch of this on the news channel, but there are, there's plenty to talk about here just for like the games.
Yeah, especially Blizzard wide, because we did focus specifically on the money part of it. But
yeah, so what to know? Well, 26 million MAUs. That's down 1 million from last quarter, even though TBC Classic launched and patch 9.1.
Yeah, yeah, we covered this in the news video as well. But the real spicy number here is that 26 million monthly active users is the same as Q1 2016, which if you've got a half decent working memory, you'll remember that is before Overwatch launched and also in the middle of Warlords of Draenor's content drought. That's how bad it is for Activision Blizzard. Well, how bad it is for Blizzard specifically. Right. They have undone 5 years of growth.
Yep.
Straight up.
Sure have. Even though it's like they're back to there, but they're achieving that same number with more products.
Yep.
Which is not the best sign.
Yep.
So if we actually dive into the numbers then, and it's fun because I forget where you got it from, but there's the whole thing of Overwatch having 10 million MAUs at a point.
Yeah.
Which then means you subtract that from everything else, and oh dear, it starts to look worse.
Yeah.
That
was October 2020, so it's probably maybe closer to maybe 7 or 8 million now, but yeah.
So, number one, a bit of context here, everyone. This is all during COVID. Most game companies experienced growth in COVID because what the fuck else was anyone going to do? And you'd especially think that an MMORPG would do well during COVID. Well, I think pretty much if you go back to, this quarter last year, they're down 6 mil, right? That's a lot. So if we look here, and you can see how they can carefully construct their messaging to make it all seem like it's going good.
Their investor narrative game is real strong.
Yeah. Now they cannot escape that number. They cannot escape 26 mil. But World of Warcraft net bookings grew again a double-digit percentage year over year. So that is Q2 of 2021 versus Q2 of 2020.
Yep.
Now, what was going on in Q2 of 2020? Because Visions of N'Zoth was Q1. Nothing. Basically nothing. Okay, so we're up a double-digit percentage year over year.
Which classic phase was that? Was there a classic phase launch there, I think? Maybe,
probably. But, I mean, a phase launch isn't a massive thing, right? So, and double-digit, that could be, we're up 100%, or no, 99%. Yeah. Or it could be 10%.
Mm-hmm. Or it could be 9.5% rounded up like.
Oh yeah, I suppose they didn't clue us into decimal places, so that would be so funny. They're up 0 point or 1.1%. No, so look, they're up somewhere 10% or more, under 99%.
Yep.
Point is though, this is a Q2 with a major launch with Classic versus a pretty empty Q2 in 2020, so that's obviously not good. Subscriber numbers and hours played were higher following the release of the Burning Crusade Classic.
I
should hope so.
I couldn't believe when I read that. I was like, that
really?
Goes so against logic. Release game, people play it. What? I mean, I think like to be serious for a second, I actually think that if they are going out of their way to type subscriber numbers and hours played were higher following the release, that shows they have fuck all else to say.
Yeah.
Nothing else to say. So I think that's a real good point to keep in mind when you're reading through these things. It's always they will tell investors everything that's good. If they have nothing to say, it means they have nothing good to say.
Yes. For our second line, World of Warcraft remains on track for much stronger engagement this year than is typical outside a modern expansion year.
What did that mean?
What does that even mean? Because I mean, it's obviously going to be less than BFA and Classic.
Yeah,
it's obviously going to be less than that.
Yeah.
So you're just comparing to previous.
Yeah. So are they?
Right, so.
I know what they're doing. They're saying typical outside of a modern expansion year because there's no modern expansion year that has high no time outside of a modern expansion that has high engagement. Right?
Yeah. No, it's basically Right, here's what it's basically saying. This is better than the patch 7.2 quarter. 7.2, I think, was Q1. But you get my point, right? You know, just no expansion coming out this year.
Yeah.
A year of patches. Yeah, of course. I would hope a major product release is better than typical. So then when we move in Hearthstone, they say that Forge and the Barons delivered expansion over expansion, net bookings growth for a second consecutive release. From what I understand there, Hearthstone had like severe health issues.
I believe it did, yeah.
As a game, and they are basically trying to claw that back. I must admit, I am not, close to the pulse of Hearthstone, so I couldn't really tell you.
Me neither.
They then said that with the latest expansion, United and Stormwind launching today, and Mercenaries, a new mode of popular role-playing, in the popular role-playing genre planned for the coming months, we expect the financial performance to strengthen in the second half of the year. Yeah, cool, fair enough. I mean, by all of your accounts at least, they do cool shit in Hearthstone. It seems like there's stuff I need to go look up.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. Hearthstone, like, if you just go back to Hearthstone every 6 months, there'll be some great content for you to enjoy for free. That's what I've noticed recently. It's fantastic. Even the earlier stuff where they have, you can rack up quite a bill if you buy all of the old adventures. But even the new stuff like the Book of Heroes, the Book of Mercenaries, that's all really good stuff. Like really good Warcraft-based storytelling that I'm having a lot of fun with. Even just dabbling a bit. And it's, honestly, if like I look at their lineup and I'm like, I feel like Hearthstone's the best thing they're making right now. That said, I'm not a huge Diablo fan, so I don't really care personally too much about Diablo 4. And Overwatch 2, I'm not super hyped on anyway. But I feel like, they're actually kind of knocking it out of the park with Hearthstone. At least as far as I can tell, I don't engage with it competitively because
PvP, yeah.
I'm not going to buy a load of boosts or grind a load of cards.
Like for me, in Hearthstone, I enjoy any of the single player stuff.
Yeah.
Or Arena. Just because I just enjoy the draft. I think it's like a neat way to play. Not that I'm the biggest fan of the monetization of it. Yeah. That said, you could also say, I'm just not good enough for the monetization to be in my favor. If I could just win more of those arenas. Okay, Diablo 2 Resurrected coming out September 23rd. Big thumbs up. So very happy about that. Diablo Immortal. Delayed. Next year. Half one. That said, they say it's received excellent feedback in its gameplay. I have heard the very same. And it's that weird thing, right? Genshin Impact. Fucking banger. Great game. Really is. I was shocked that I just, initially expected, this is going to be some gacha, whatever.
Bullshit.
This is just going to be a gacha clone of Zelda. No, not at all. That's absolutely incorrect. Great game. And, I just obviously avoid the monetization bit. There's qualms and issues I have there. And with this Diablo Immortal, I mean, by all accounts, it's actually a good game. Now, if I can just hook in a little gamepad and there you go, I could play a little bit of Diablo on the go. Not that I do that often anyway, but it's just, will they fuck it up with monetization? That's the big thing. Because it seems like what they actually have got is a very successful translation of Diablo over, to the mobile format. And you know what? Yeah. Put a controller onto my iPad, bam, good Diablo experience. Could play Diablo Immortal, have as good an experience as just say me playing Dead Cells on my iPad, which I've done and has been a great experience. It's just, will they fuck it with the monetization? We do not know. I don't think COD Mobile is like pay to win or any of that bullshit.
No, I think they've done a pretty good job of that.
So yeah, maybe, who knows? And then for Overwatch 2, they just said that they passed an important internal milestone in recent weeks. So that was basically it for their, their main big slide.